stories, viewers. More airstrikes are being conducted. This time, central Tigray has been targeted. A few hours ago, Mekelle was hit. Masfen Industrial Park, a compound adjacent to this park, was targeted. Now, just a few minutes ago, we got confirmation that this time, another air raid has been conducted on central Tigray. Abergale Voreda has been hit. We'll talk about that. Secondly, today we received some reports about some mobilization of ENDF troops from Kombolcha towards Dasi. Large convoys of ENDF troops have been seen leaving Kombolcha towards Dasi. What are they planning? Firstly, viewers, more airstrikes have been conducted. A few hours ago, I informed you about airstrikes on Mekelle. That was a second time that Mekelle was hit in around 48 hours. An industrial park, a compound close to it was hit. Ethiopian government has issued a statement as well. It says that this compound was being used for repairing of military equipment, for storage site of ammunition and weaponry. So Ethiopian government is denying that it is hitting any civilian targets. After that, we just a few minutes ago got confirmation that another airstrike has been conducted, this time on central Tigray. Abergale Voreda. Agbe is the name of locality where airstrike has been conducted. So far, no official statement from Ethiopian government or Tigray government about Mekelle airstrikes. We have seen statements from Gata Choreda, from Debrecen Gebre Mikhail, who said it was an attack on civilians. Tigray TV also covered the airstrike on Mekelle. So far, no statement about the airstrike on Abergale Voreda. Some unofficial sources are saying that a training camp has been hit in Abergale Voreda. Viewers, if you want to understand this war objectively, and if you want to understand the true nature of these airstrikes, then we'll have to acknowledge these are airstrikes on military targets. Ethiopian Air Force is not conducting airstrikes on civilians. Yes, civilians are being killed because not all military targets are in isolated places. By military targets, I mean the things which military is using. I mean fuel tankers are military targets, training camps, other type of infrastructure which is being used by military. These are military targets. We are not saying that these military targets are being hit legally, that it's legal, it should happen. We are not approving these airstrikes. What we are saying is that these are not airstrikes against civilians. It's a military maneuver against military targets. But what I'm saying is against official narrative adopted by Tigray government. That is why some viewers will find it difficult to digest. But that is what reality is. Ethiopian government is hitting military targets in Tigray. Tigray government will always say, it is saying that civilians are being killed. Why? The Ethiopian government wants to terrorize civilians. How can you terrorize Tigrayans who have been fighting for the last 10 months? No, Ethiopian Air Force is not conducting airstrikes on civilians. Civilians are being killed. There is no doubt about that. Targets are military, which are being used by TDF. Whether they are in Mekelle, Central Tigray, other parts of Tigray, they will be hit. Now, TDF will adopt a strategy how to counter these airstrikes. In the previous video, I discussed in detail what TDF is expected to do. I am covering this war impartially and neutrally. If Tigray's government is saying that strikes are being carried out against civilians, it's official narrative of Tigray government. It's not what's reality on the ground. Ethiopian National Defense Force is trying to weaken TDF militarily by carrying out these airstrikes. Now, second update is about massive mobilization of Ethiopian National Defense Force from Kombolcha. A few hours ago, I got confirmation from someone in Kombolcha that large convoys of ENDF troops, their vehicles, have been seen heading to Dasi from Kombolcha. Is ENDF planning a bigger offensive towards Dasi, towards Voldia, or is it due to pressure from TDF? Because TDF has been trying to move towards Dasi. Well, what we have learned so far is that TDF is keeping its pressure towards Dasi. It has not retreated all the way from Dasi towards Voldia. It's still trying to get close to Dasi. That is why this huge mobilization of ENDF troops is being seen. A counter-offensive, a huge counter-offensive against TDF on Dasi front is going to be launched. It's not that ENDF is planning an offensive on Tigray, as I heard from an analyst. No, in order to invade Tigray, ENDF will not start from Kombolcha. So that is why this mobilization of ENDF troops is to stop TDF's advance towards Dasi. TDF is definitely putting pressure upon Dasi front. That is why a new offensive, a counter-offensive is being launched by these new reinforcements of Ethiopian National Defense Force.